It's a smooth jazz hour.
The Quiet Storm by Jermaine and Rich.
His name is Jermaine. I make you wet like a swimming pool.
What? Oh man.
And my name is Fred. It's not.
Is Fred does Fred sound creepy to you? Is that the creepiest name you
Absolute.
came on?
Have you ever met a Fred that was normal? Exactly.
Well,
You're
that goes
welcome.
back to my Tammy thing. You ever met this skinny
Yeah.
Tammy? I'm still waiting.
There's a. They don't even. I don't think they make Freds anymore either.
I know. Like, I think Fred is so outdated and almost like so common that even if somebody was a Fred, they're going to go by Frederick nowadays.
That's
You
too
know what I
fancy.
mean? Yeah, because it adds a
almost
layer
like-
of fanciness. It's like, I mean, like you got people nowadays with two last names, like Walker or, Walker Monroe, or, you know what I mean? Like, I remember, growing up, it was people with two first names that was common, like Steve Martin or.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
But it seemed like nowadays people like to take the long route, those longer names and last names. You got people, their names are Mackenzie and McKinley and Roosevelt. And, it's everybody want to add their own little uniqueness.
We are 2 minutes in, and this show's already off the fucking rails.
Where did this come from? This is insane.
Look, I just want to come in and be silly, and then somehow went into yeah. Anyway,
Like pivot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got more pivots than a U.S. armed forces as far as army soldiers marching and turning and pivoting.
Oh, okay.
I
was like, where are you going with this? All right. Fair enough. I get it.
All right, man. That's battle rap 101. Not even battle rap, just rhyming 101. You always got to have an analogy. I do this like this. You know what I mean? So give people a visual. But
well,
all right. Let's go.
I'm not really a battle rapper.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know. I fit the
I
bill.
mean, you look just like one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, that's Jermaine.
Welcome to BDE Street.
That's Jermaine the Jackhammer over there. And exactly. That's why he's always smacking his hands. That's Well, I think it's his hands. We're not.
No,
sure.
that was my leg just now. I was just smacking my legs.
Which one? There you go. I'm like, come on.
No, I ain't smacking the monk.
All right. So, this is BDE Street, and we are here to talk to you about trust. And I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a fun episode because this can cover a lot of different kind of relationships, and definitely cover all the sides of the pendulum there for a lot and a little bit of trust and how that all looks and why that looks the way it looks. So, I feel like we should start with the nice, happy kind of part of it, and then end.
I don't want to, pivot off of what you're trying to do, but I would like to start with first just the definition. Like, what is your definition of the word?
Oh, I thought you were going to break out Webster's and start dropping knowledge. All right.
Oh, I mean, I can pull out Webster's to find out, what is the Webster definition of it. But first, what is your definition of it? And then we'll dive into the derivatives of it.
All right. Fair enough. So, I would say trust, at least how it looks like or what it means and whatever. I would say it's kind of like an unconscious, allotment of your feelings and I guess just decisions within somebody else's kind of, I guess orbit, right? So with Tiff, I don't have to really run by any decisions I make past her and vice versa. And I don't I don't have to worry about really anything where she's going, what she's doing. I just unconsciously blindly trust her. And I know you can't really use the definition of the word in the explanation of the definition of the word, but sorry, not sorry. I mean, there's.
Well,
I don't.
I look at it as trust can be, of course, trust is one of those all encompassing words where it can be a noun, a thing, or it could be a verb. You have to do it.
You know, a noun is a thing, you idiot.
Well, say that again.
You know, a noun is a thing, you idiot.
No, I said a noun, and it could be a verb.
Yeah, you said a noun, a thing, and a verb.
No, I said a noun. It could be a noun, which is a thing. And then I said it could be a verb, is something you do.
All right, you English teacher. Keep going.
Like, I mean, what the fuck over here? Open up your ears.
Huh?
My definition, open up your ears.
Huh?
My definition is, he said, huh? My definition is, I wrote this down earlier when I was thinking,
really?
I'm sitting up here like, what is it? But let me just tell you what my definition is.
Okay.
Someone who is looking out for my best interest just as strongly as I do. Things operate as if I am there. It's almost like creating a clone or a stunt double of yourself. So if somebody is looking out in the same interests for you that you would, as if you were there. So if you trust someone, you're trusting them as if you're there making the same decision, like they're making the same decision that you would make if you were in that situation.
Okay.
Looking out for your best interest.
I don't know how interesting this is or not, if I'm just kind of picking something apart here. But I find it interesting that in my definition, I led in with that trust being given to somebody. Your definition started in with that trust kind of being given to you. So I don't know. I don't know if that means anything at all, but I don't know. Just something I picked up on.
Well, I mean, you picked up on probably because at this point in my life, I got you by what, 8 years? You're 37. I'm 45.
Yep.
I think from that aspect, just that little small detail kind of highlights that I have less trust in anybody or is in a certain group of people as time has went on. So I have less trust in my walk of life so far than maybe you're still a little bit more optimistic about. So you have a little bit more trust. So you're more trustworthy than probably I am because I have some ridiculous experiences that have.
I was going to say, how much of that is recency bias too?
No. It's not. It's not just relationship wise. It's just
okay.
I mean, because trust, as we talked about last week, it doesn't just cover relationships. It covers work. It covers antitrust. It covers delegation. It covers friendship. I mean, it's a very impactful word. So it's just, I don't know. It seems like my circle of trust gets smaller and smaller as the years go on.
I think that's a good way to go about it too. I mean, you sit here and you're. I mean, let's just kind of say it like this. I mean, you're out here spreading your legs to everybody. Everyone has a piece of you. You start divvying up that trust to 50 some odd people, I mean, how much do you really have to give? Like that just seems a little, I don't know. I mean, I think that's when you start delving into the levels of trust.
Yeah,
I'm not
because I
saying you need
mean,
to,
and you can even trust somebody to do something negative on top of that. Like,
right?
I trust that my uncle is going to come to the Christmas party, get shitty, sloppy drunk, and ruin it. I trust that you're going to act that way because you've
Right.
shown me that in the past. Like, it doesn't have to always be a positive type of thing. It's like you can trust and believe in a certain predictable behavior.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of baked into the word or the definition of the trust. It's, obviously you're not just going to come out and blindly trust somebody, right when you meet them. There is behaviors and, trends, I guess, for lack of a better term, that lead you into trust. Like trust is like the end of the road. Like there's a bunch of different
Yeah.
words that lead into that you eventually get to that point of trust.
Well, I mean,
So
the different levels of it come from the different experiences. Some is blind trust where you just gotta you 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 just gotta go against your instinctual thought and just let it go and just trust somebody with no experience. Like you don't have any experience with this person doing you wrong, doing you good. You just gotta kind of
yeah,
you
that's
gotta give
lunacy.
a blind trust. And then there's trust that develops over time. Okay, I trusted you to do this last time. Now I feel like and you provided or you succeeded. Now I trust you with this. And now I trust you
Right.
with that. And then over time, I gradually gain a trust for you. But then there's certain times where, like the first time that you lay out that trust, it's kind of blind and it has no substance behind it.
I don't really know why I thought about this, but it really just kind of threw something in my head. It's kind of like the mafia, right? You know, you're you know, you're not made. You are, just like, an underling, for lack of a better term. Then
Hmm.
you're entrusted with, okay, go ahead and
A
do this
small
job.
job.
Then
Yeah.
do this job. Do this job. Shut your mouth. Do this job. And you eventually gain that trust. And then you eventually get to move up the ranks, whatever, whatever. But
Hmm.
I don't really know why that popped in my head when you were saying that, but that's another, I guess, example of trust.
Well, I mean, with that in that mafia example, the first time that they trust whoever, that's kind of blind. But in
Yeah.
their example, it's like
Well,
if you
is
don't
it
work
though?
out, then
Because
trust and believe your life is gone. You know what I mean? So
right.
they have the assurance behind their. It's not blind for them because they know that they can alter the outcome.
Well, I was gonna say like I mean, not a mafioso or anything, but they usually get brought to the party. They're already kind of touted up saying, "Hey, my fellow over there, he can handle this. Go ahead and just give him a chance here." So I don't like
So
when
they
I
kind of
when
like
I
they're coming in with a resume almost.
yeah, yeah, like when you say blind trust, I think of like you're walking down the street and you're like, "Hey, look, um I can't go into the store right now because of whatever. Um Here's a 5. Can you go grab me a drink and yada yada." That's
Hmm.
blindly trusting somebody. I mean, obviously a weird example, but when I think of blind trust, I'm thinking there is
You think the
no.
word risk almost.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like a blind date. Blind anything blind is always a bit of a like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is gonna go.
It's
But
risk. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you think of blind trust. I mean, and this is where the levels come in. You're gonna just date somebody new, right? and let's just say you're coming from a bad relationship that was based on, infidelity. All right.
No, let's use me as an example. Like,
I mean,
as
I didn't
far
mean
as
to, but like it kind of was going that route.
no, I mean, and the reason why I brought up my definition as far as someone who is looking out for my best interest, just as if I was there was no trust. Almost
Right.
probably a small in the infancy stages of our relationship. There was a level of trust, but the majority of the time, I want to say 20 plus, 25 years plus, there was no trust. I didn't trust her to go to a party or an establishment or anywhere and act as if I was there. It was like, I trust that you're going to act a different way. I trust that you're going to make a fucked up decision. That's what I trust.
You had like the literal polar opposite of trust.
And I don't know why I continued to stay that long in a relationship that was that toxic and that untrustworthy on not just my end, on her end as well. I'm pretty sure she didn't think that I would operate in certain instances as if she was there.
I know why, because you're ugly as fuck and no one would love you.
Yes.
And this is my friend. Well, actually, I have a great example. Not for that, because I'm pretty. But I have an example. So Tiff, she's in Missouri for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So strippers can actually travel now. No, she's not a stripper.
But she could be down there raising the roof, acting a goddamn fool. But you trust that.
Well, no, this is literally something that just happened. So, look, Tiff's pretty. It is what it is. That just yay, I did well. And she went down there and she's like, yeah, so most of these people down in Missouri are hit. I'm like, all right.
Dang, she said they're hit.
Right.
Crashed. I mean, there are certain cities you go through and everybody looks crashed. Man, when I rode through Little Rock, Arkansas, sorry, you people down there's probably some fine ones. But everybody from the gas station attendants to any store we stopped in, everybody was hit sick.
I mean, let's be honest. You're not really finding dimes at a gas station, but yeah, fair. I'm
saying though, in the whole vicinity, there's the
whole town.
I mean, everybody. It was hit village. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. It was hit university. They were hit hard.
So she was like, yeah, no one's really hit on me though. I'm like, that sounds like that's a you problem. I don't know what to tell you. But it's something where she's been down there since Monday or something. And not a singular time have I ever wondered what she was doing. I didn't even care. I mean, I know she's down there for work, but it's like, I don't, like, I blindly, and it's accrued equity, blindly trust her because
accrued equity.
Because she has proven, and she's never given me a reason not to, not to. I don't have. First of all, I don't have the time nor patience to like wonder and do that. I've had to play that game.
Snoop behind her.
Right. I've played that game. That game sucks.
Checking phones and shit and checking messages and who is this and your social media posts. What does that mean? And oh man.
Like if you're in that type of situation, which I mean, seemingly that you were in.
Yes, I was.
Like that feels exhausting.
It is.
So that's a part of that blind trust, but that blindness has been earned, I guess, in a weird way to put it, but it is, and it took a while to get. I mean, not with her, but I think as an adult, it takes you a while to get there, right?
I know. I mean, I understand that you're in a happy place now, but we've had conversations where you came out of terrible relationships as well. So, it wasn't all bluebirds on your shoulders this whole time. So you went through a very untrustworthy situation.
Because the one previous to her, she was a bit of a whore, and that was a
bit.
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
turn your own fucking ass a little bit. He said a bit of a hole.
yeah. I keep it classy, and it was that exact situation. It was a yeah, I'm with you, but now I'm kind of feeling this other person. Now I'm gonna pretty much just gaslight you and mess with your head, and knowing that I was, I'm a very much like down to ride type of person. So I, that was turned very trusting, and that was turned inside out and used to my detriment. And you are doing your best to keep your head on your shoulders and your head on a swivel also. And it's a real weird place to be in, to wonder, always wonder, but then also try not to wonder, because you, for whatever reason in your head, well, yeah, actually, this is what it is. Your heart is trying to tell you, hey, don't wonder, but your head's like, hey, hold on here, got some questions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
those two things, they do not always match up. Now, when they do, that's when you kind of have what me and Tiff have. When you don't, that's kind of where things that's where me and the other
My
person I'm not
question
going to
for
name.
you, after coming out of that harsh relationship, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're happy that it happened at a very young age for you, that you're able to
Dude,
heal from the
that
scar.
was like, I was like 32, dude. It was not that
I'm gonna
long
say you're
ago.
able to heal from the scar a little bit
Yeah.
easier, but as we all know, the older you get, the deeper, the harder it
Yeah.
is to heal from scars. So, had that happened to you later in life, would like put it this way. In my instance, my previous experience, and I have to let this go, but in my previous experience, it's going to cause a ripple effect on
Yeah.
the next
You have
person that does
baggage.
come along,
You
that
have
I am
baggage.
going to have no trust in this person. They're going to have to almost doubly prove to me
But
the trust level.
and see, I understand that, but you look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. This is where I'm going to, impart some of my, I don't know, you want to call it wisdom, whatever. Because it feels weird to like give somebody wisdom that's older than you, but whatever. It's fine.
Man, just because experience on this earth does not breed
Fair.
wisdom.
Wait. No, that's actually what that does.
No, just experience does not automatically breed wisdom. It just means that you could be 50 years old and you haven't learned for the 28th time to stop doing this silly shit to put you in jail.
Okay.
So you're not wise. Like, just
All right,
because
fair
you're
enough.
older, you're not wise.
Okay. Well, see, I thought so. That's kind of where I thought you were going with it, because I was going to say time shouldn't dictate wisdom, experience should. Because I think time and experience are two different things. Maybe.
No.
Whatever. Let's not look.
If I've experienced the jail cell 100 fucking times, I got experience with the jail, but it doesn't mean I'm wise to the ways to not get back there.
I mean, that, or you need to
Or
stop
I'm
you need to stop doing dumb shit. Anyway, all right, fair enough. So we all got the gist of it here. So, you're gonna have baggage. We all know that, especially for the long tenured relationship you have. You talk about deep scars.
Yes.
Yeah, you got something. You have to do your best to go in and not make that person pay for the sins of the other person.
Yes.
And that's going to be the hardest thing. And that's why it's always funny to see, I always get to look back at I'm like watching couples or anything. But it is amusing when you hear and see, oh yeah, I just got out of a relationship with Johnny for 4 years and now I'm with Bill, and it's like, oh, didn't you just break up? Yeah. It's like, did you think that's going to go swimmingly, or are you just like, thirsty? It's one of those, you're going to need to take time, a lot of time, to kind of get your mind right. Because if you go into that relationship, and this person can be the best person in your life, it could be the just like your person that you were waiting for, and you go in there with this preconceived notion of like, you got to do right, you have to do this and this and this to prove this to me. You're not going to verbalize that. We may, I don't know, but you go in there with that preconceived notion, and if anything falters, not even like the fact that they would do something detrimental or not trustworthy, if they just did not follow that, I guess, algorithm that you have set in your head, that's going to set
Or
down
the
a
obstacle
domino
course I
effect.
got
That's going
set up
to,
for them, and I'm gonna drive that person out of my life that was
right,
perfect for me. Yeah.
right, and that's the hardest thing, dude. And that's where I'm like, hey, here's the wisdom, whatever. Because it's a lot easier from an external point of view to say that to someone that's potentially going to be going through that. But I've also been through that. Not like to the years that you had in there, but once again, time is kind of your feelings they're not necessarily dictated by time, So
Yeah.
you had 20 some years. I had like 2 or 3 with this chick. I don't remember, but
Yeah. My scars and my hurt, I mean, they might be deeper, but I can't measure your amount of hurt that
right,
it put on your heart and try to say my hurt was harder than yours or is
right.
larger than yours because I'm not
This isn't a
inside your
dick
body.
measuring
So
contest, right?
yeah. A trust
Um,
measuring contest.
no, but yeah, that is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I heard what happened with you, that's literally one of the first things I thought of. I'm like, man, I hope this dude doesn't ruin his next ones because of that, because that is such an easy pitfall to fall into. Um, and but look, emotional security and emotional maturity is a hell of a thing, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that, one, you're able to hear that and take that and process that and not come across like, no, it's not like, no, you're like, yeah, no, that's legitimately a thing that could happen. That's almost like half the battle. And I know that's a tired cliche of knowing is half the battle, but with certain types of things, yeah, like that is something that is,
Well, I
you
mean, my
need to be
circle of
aware of.
friends, even in that toxic relationship, was small. And then after that happened, it like I almost put my shoulder up. I don't know if you're familiar with Floyd Mayweather's boxing, and I don't, this is a goofy analogy, but if anybody out there that's listening that watch Floyd Mayweather box, he puts this like shoulder up that puts up a defense where you can almost never hit him. So I almost like right after this happened, I went into Floyd Mayweather mode where I kind of turned my back on the whole world. Like
Yeah,
I don't trust the next paycheck coming. Like I'm thinking
right.
that the whole thing is gonna fall apart. You know what I mean?
Next paycheck. God damn. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like
Sheesh.
I don't even trust, the ants on the sidewalk to do what they normally do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking that the whole world is going to
And
jump
fuck
out of
ants.
some
Ants
type of
cost me $500.
disarray.
Fuck ants.
So, like, I already had a small circle of trust, and then after that
Yeah.
happened, it's like the person that I'm supposed to be building my
That
life
you should be
around, and
trusting the
soulmate,
most.
and then like they betrayed me. So it's like
Yeah.
now I really don't fucking trust nobody
Yeah.
or anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I have to
It's
allow
a
myself, like you
hard,
said, allow
hard
myself to
thing.
heal and to, recognize as the circumstances around me, everybody is not out to be toxic towards you,
Right.
and that's a learning process. It's a gradual process.
Hey, look, real quick. I don't mean to kind of, not really a segue off of it, but more of a kind of a, hey, PSA here. So, we're going to actually start doing some things here too, a little extra kind of off the side types of things. So this is going to maybe sound pretentious or douchey or whatever, word you want to throw on it, that's perfectly fine. Fine. I would like to think we are two relatively intelligent, two relatively emotionally secure people. The whole emotional security or maturity, that's not security, maturity. There's not really a good way to put this except just straight up and straightforward. So I'm just going to put it out there. So it's not going to be broadcasted. It's more of just like a personalized kind of like, hey, individual 2-on-1. Yeah, we're gonna run the train on you.
We're gonna run that charismatic, hard school of the hard knocks.
We keep it sexy on this podcast. But we are once again sounds so douchey. We're willing to offer up our services if anyone wants to have like some particular one-on-one conversations, kind of something maybe you're not too comfortable with speaking to other people about in a group, or maybe it just you feel more comfortable with people that you have you're not super familiar with, that you have this level of like anonymous with
almost like an objective opinion, or even a outside the box or outside the realm opinion. We're not MDs. We don't have MD behind our name. We're not doctors.
Right.
We didn't go to school, which is a waste of time if you go back a few episodes. We don't have that type of insight, but we can provide some type of conversation where, okay, let's suppose you're going through a certain problem or a certain instance or a certain circumstance, and the people you have around you or the support group you have around you, you're sick of hearing their perspective because you already, before you even go ask Bob, Bill, John, that's your friend, you already know what he's going to say, because you already ran the story behind him.
Right.
Like, so he's coming with the same regurgitated response.
Right.
Why not allow two people that, or even one, if you feel comfortable only speaking to one of us,
right?
Because I could be too brash or too much over the top. I'm a loud guy. And you want to just talk to Rich, or you want to just talk to me, or you want to, you want the gangbang. But at the same time, why not put your subject out in the ether, and allow us to attack it? And allow us to all three,
or just listen. Like sometimes motherfuckers just need to listen. Like the cool thing about what we got going on is I definitely have a very brash part of me, but I also am super emotionally open too. Like, and that's not the cool thing. Give a fuck. Fuck you guys. 37. I'll do what the fuck I want. Dudes have feelings too. It is what it is. Get over yourself. Yeah. I figured it's something we can start doing with folks, and I mean it may fall on its face. I don't know, but I figured that sometimes it's cool to have somebody else in your corner and not feel like you're just fighting the world alone. And like Jermaine said, like sometimes you're getting the same regurgitated stuff. It's like, you just got someone that may not be on your intellectual level, that you're speaking to, that's just nodding their head. It's like, I feel you, man. And it's like, no, you don't. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, because you're like,
you're talking to this guy that all he's worried about is the next beer he's getting out the refrigerator, or all he's worried about is the next blunt he's smoking, and you're laying your life down and you're laying all your problems out, and they're like, oh, okay. And you're like, what? Was that what the response that I was looking for? Like, I guarantee you ain't gonna get a simple okay from us. We might start talking to the point where after you hang up, we gonna still be talking about the shit.
Look, and I'll tell you the two sides of the spectrum I'm on. Literally, yesterday I was talking to somebody on the phone, and she said her grandson, and it's almost hard to even talk about. I don't even know this person, right? I was at work, and Jermaine knows how I operate because he was my boss. And some of y'all didn't know that, but yeah, this is how this whole shit show started with me and him, and having this. I mean, I just call it a brotherhood at this point, but
Yeah.
it's far beyond a friendship now.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
once you touch peepees, it makes everything.
He said peepees. He didn't even fucking go to the fucking. He didn't even go to the adult term. He said peepees and shit.
Yeah, you touch peepees. But I talked to this lady, and I know her name, and I'm not going to say her name, obviously, but it's one of those things that just it sticks with you. Her grandkid, 6 years old, got on his bike and rolled out of the driveway and got hit by a car, got thrown by the car. And now I don't have any other better way to put this, but he's now 6 and essentially a vegetable.
Damn.
And I literally, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely cried a little bit on the phone. And I got there's no shame in that, because
there was supposed to be shame in you being a human being.
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay.
But hearing that, it's like this. Like, I'm a dad now. Obviously, my kids are way past 6. But even if you weren't a dad, just as a human, knowing that this 6-year-old, that's it for them. Like, they're still going to have. Once again, I hate to use these terms. They're going to have their kind of simpleton life now, and that's all they're going to go from an emotional intelligence, from just a general intelligence. Who knows how that's really going to progress, if it even does. But that is now their life.
At that point, they always have to be cared for. So, like,
yes.
I'm not saying what good is that, but it's like you're not really living out your life.
You're not living.
And all you're doing is being cared for.
You are existing, and that's that little sidebar. That's what I've always told Tiff. If I ever get to the point where I cross that threshold from living to existing, take me out. I'm done. I don't want to do it. But anyway, let me circle back on the point here. So That was yesterday. Today, I'm driving to Coons, and I called an old man a cocksucker. So you need to understand the two. You're going to get all that and everything in between with me. So I'm a ball of emotions, and it's, I don't know. I feel like we can do more than what we're doing now. So, this is something that we're kind of doing, off the beaten path. It's not going to be, recorded. If you want your story shared, absolutely we'll do it, but nothing is going to be disclosed that you don't want to be disclosed. And if you need someone to kind of talk to and just hear your story out, maybe get some perspective, we're doing something on the side. So just kind of hit us up and let us know. But that was my little sidebar there, because I want to get that in, because you said something that segued into it, and I completely forgot, because I am a shitty human. It also may be 12:30, and so there's that too. But look, trust is a beautiful, scary, awful, great thing, and
I mean, I want to cover the trust in the work
workplace.
environment.
Okay,
yes.
All right.
Because I want to go into that, because work people aren't, coworker and relationships outside of that is two different things. Coworker is, I'm here to pick up a paycheck, you here to pick up a paycheck, and technically we don't really have to deal with each other other than that. I mean, like, we don't have to meet up after work and get drinks, and we don't have to go outside, and we don't have to do nothing but the common goal, which is the company's, mission statement, or whatever.
Let's not get fired.
Yes. So, I recently came across, I'm in management, I'm a supervisor at the job I'm at.
Nice flex, douche.
That ain't even no flex. I'm a broke bastard. So let me preface that first and then come back with management. Okay. So I'm in management and I was assigned, some type of leadership classes. And it was a series of 4 weeks leadership classes. And the title of the class was called Instills Trust. So I'm like, okay. So, the preference behind it, or the way that they broke it down, was that if you have a team of individuals underneath you that follow you, the level of trust they have for you will dictate the amount of work or the amount of goals that they set for themselves to succeed for you. But if you show them a level of distrust or a level of, like, they broke down trust in so many different ways. Like, trust means following up on promises. Trust means answering questions, and if you don't know the answer, you get back to them. You know what I mean? Like, trust means like it means all of these things where you build up a great rapport with a complete stranger that's a part of your team that reports to you. Now, they still report to you and you still have authority over them. But at the same time, that's all it is. It's just a title. You don't dictate, what they do for the company, because you can be removed at any point.
Well, you know what I mean? You mentioned the trust in the workplace here. I mean, you remember when we were actually in office, right? And, I'm going to definitely piggyback off what you said there, because and you can definitely attest to this. When it came to supervisors in that center, you knew who one you could just trust from a personal level, where you could say certain things around them and be more of yourself if need be, and not worry about any kind of repercussions or anything kind of being swirled around the workplace.
You had supervisors that were trustworthy supervisors that, as long as you were talking about an account or you were talking about a customer, you were fine. But then there was some off the cuff, off the record, being a human being type of supervisors that you can let your hair down, so to speak. Right.
Now, here's the other part of that, and this is the thing I wanted to kind of piggyback off yours, because you knew who you could go to for certain things to get certain things done that you needed to get done, because based on either their skill set or their ability, or really, I mean, unfortunately, this is more really the thing. It was their desire to do that for you. So it is interesting because I would say in a workplace, your trust, you're not kind of balls deep on your trust. You're like, I'm going to trust you enough to know that I need to get done what I need to get done. Me, our relationship, me and Tim and Kev and Nick, and do I give a shit about anybody else there? No, I don't.
Kev,
Nick, Timmy.
I don't recall you dealing with too many other people besides that.
Yeah, everyone else could catch on fire. All right. Fair. That's very rare, and even to the point where it's funny, because I've actually, whenever we came out of the office, I used to have.
Was you cool with Becky, right?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
She came to your wedding and
Becky's
everything.
Good people. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about people that are still. Well, I guess Kevin's not there anymore, but yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a shitty person. I'm sorry. I'm blaming that on 12:30.
Hey, Beck, I gave you the shout out.
Yeah, there you go, Becky.
Becky did come to your wedding.
You know what? Becky is actually in the text messages that I send this out to. So she's actually.
Are you fucking serious? She's
dead
part
serious.
of your little group chat?
I'm dead serious. Becky's in that group chat. Yeah. And Renee too. Yeah, my other soup, Renee. Yeah, but she wasn't in office though, so she doesn't get to count yet for that. She was straight digital. But because it's a different type of trust. Like you're trusting someone remotely compared to trusting them like physically. I'm seeing you. I can see your face.
But I get what you're saying as far as like certain people you trust. Remember, we have this conversation all the time. We joke. I wasn't the most technically savvy motherfucker in the office. So when you needed some tech shit done, you went to another suit.
Yeah.
But
And
if you wanted to talk about life and personal and bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'm your man. Shit.
Oh boy. But no, that's what it is, because my point was, your level of trust, you're going from like 0 to like 40, right? And that's kind of where you're at, like 0 to 40% with the people that you work with. Now, obviously, there are those outliers like you and the people that I mentioned that goes, much higher. That's where you're starting to teeter on to our next subject we're going to go to when we're done with this, and that's going to be the whole friendship trust, like the relationship, like the interpersonal kind of thing. And we can even, like, after that, do the family stuff, because you could do the family stuff because everyone's dead on my side, so I don't fucking know. But so the work stuff is real interesting, because you really, and that's almost the scarier thing, man, because you can say the wrong thing to the wrong person that you thought was the right person.
I brought up the whole work thing, because I can't let this go before we switch over into a different aspect of trust, is when I went through those classes in Stills Trust, and then my current manager began, and that's why delegation comes into play, because they were stating to, like, why don't, like, when you get overwhelmed with tasks, why don't you delegate more? Why don't you allow other people to do the work for you or to help you with the work? Is because you don't trust them. You don't trust them to make all the checks and balances, and like, you don't trust them to, as if you're there. Going back to my definition of someone who is looking out for your best interests just as strongly as you do, they operate as if you are there. So if you delegate some type of work, okay, if my manager says to me, I need 4 reports on my desk by Friday this week, and I know myself physically, I can only get 2 of them done. So I'm saying to myself, like, dang, I need to somehow get these other 2 reports out, and I need to somehow delegate to somebody on my team that I trust.
Right.
That'll produce the same amount of work that I will do. And I'm not talking about just throwing out a project and they somehow just half-ass do it. They got to do it as if I was the one doing it. So in a workplace setting, you have to trust the person that you are delegating to in order to successfully delegate. So my manager gave me several tasks, and I remember her vivid words after them classes, and she was just like, I trust you to do exactly what I would do, baby. Like, not baby, but like babe. I'm not like workplace etiquette. Like, me and my manager, there's nothing going on, so don't take that there. You know what I'm saying? It was just like terms of endearment, that type shit. And it was just like, and then another thing that was in these classes was that the person that you delegate to, not only are you giving them a level of trust, they are reciprocating that trust back in you, because now they feel more accountable. They feel more valued, that, like, wow, my manager trusted me to do this task. So now you're going to buckle down and you're going to fucking knock that shit out of the park.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to be trusted again.
Yeah. Look, I kind of dealt with the same stuff in office, man. Like you were, I was able to do a lot of things that a lot of folks weren't able to do. And a lot of those opportunities. And because I built up a reputation and that accrued trust.
Yes.
So, it's a cool thing, but my God, it can go sideways so quick, because that trust is, as hard as it is to gain, it is so easy to lose.
Yes,
it is so, like, you can just get that.
It's like a grade point average. If you could do a ton of things to build up the trust and only make a small dent. But if you do 1 or 2 things to decrease from the trust or to knock it down, it makes a ridiculous fucking valley, of it goes south really quickly. And that's a grade point average. Like,
look, I will tell you,
get a C. You can have, put it this way, you can have all A's and one C. And let's suppose you're grading 8 grades. That C can have such a detrimental effect that you can layer that behind that with a bunch of B's and A's, and it will take so much longer to get that average up from that C than it would be to, layer it in with a bunch of high marks. You know what I mean? And that's why
I'm going to tell you the best example, and then we'll move on to the next one. And it's something that you actually you may remember, you may not remember, but you were there for it. This is something that just popped in my head. And yes, Tiff, this was before you, so don't start asking questions. So there was this girl that worked where I work, and she wasn't there for very long, but she was very I don't even have a good word to put it.
Fire.
Huh?
Fire.
Fire.
Get out. Fire.
She was okay.
Fire.
But she was very sexually charged, and she liked to make a lot of little, innuendo comments, and she liked to kind of play that little game and kind of play, have those little like silly innuendos sent back to her.
She was a flirtatious devil.
Yes, and I don't know if you remember this now, but I think you do. So I don't remember exactly what I said, but I am a sketchy fella. I will say some random shit that shouldn't be said. I am far from appropriate. I apologize for nothing. Probably said something super sketchy. Not gonna lie, but it was more so I'm kind of doing that dance. Like, you go there, you go that level, I'll go that level. You go, and then you're just kind of going back and forth. I just thought we were just being silly. I wasn't trying to pursue nothing. It was like, whatever. This is just fun. I'm at work. This makes me not want to kill myself. It's great.
I mean, sometimes you got little workplace like idioms or like not even fantasies. It's like workplace little shit to pass the time. Like, right. I'm not really interested in that person. It's almost like going to a club. Sometimes you go to a club and you don't give a fuck about the fucking females that's in there. Like, I remember my brother Dwayne, or they call him Roughneck Tactics. Man, he's married and he's happily married to his wife. And we would all go out to the club and, my brother's a good looking guy, and he would get numbers upon numbers upon numbers. And he would take these numbers. I used to say, man, why are you even taking the numbers? So he would take these numbers. And when we got to the end of the night, I watched him throw the numbers right out, like in the parking lot before we even drove off to leave. He would throw them shits out the window. And I'm like,
it's like that Patrice O'Neal thing.
Huh?
It's like that Patrice O'Neal bit where he's like, you still
like
want to be
like he was bagging bitches for sport. Yeah. Like, it was like, what? Okay.
Well, so, and this is where I think this will kind of click with you if it hasn't already. All of a sudden, I mean, and this was like a friendly little trust thing, because obviously if you're doing that in the workplace, you need to be in a trusting, quote unquote, relationship with that person. If you're making these, innuendos back and forth, because how that can turn. Well, it turned. This person randomly, out of nowhere, went ahead and went to the manager and said, hey, he's saying this and this and this to me. I don't feel okay with this. Ho. You got brought in HR behind some shit? Yeah, you don't remember this?
I don't remember no HR stuff that you was involved in.
Yeah. So I don't, and for the life of me, I can't remember a damn thing I said to this person, to be honest. So Tiff, I don't have any ideas. Fuck off. Like, don't come home and ask me, because I don't give a shit enough to really like go back in the memory banks, because I don't care. It's just the whole trust thing, kind of like, oh, this is something that happened because the work thing, and the whole point of the work thing, why it's so dangerous to trust people at work, is because that can happen. So, and I didn't lose my job because, once again, I build up a relationship, and it's like I explain the situation. It's like, yeah, hey, look, I get it. It was a give and take type of thing. I was just kind of feeding off the energy. I'm not actually interested. It is, whatever. I think some of that having to do with me having that reputation definitely helped with that. But yeah, that is something.
No, I mean, if
that
you was a
stuff
schmuck, you probably definitely would have got fired.
right. And it's one of those things where that can be removed very, very quickly, just like that. Like that trust is completely severed, but understanding that more often than not, if something like that happens at work, it doesn't have to be that specific situation. But if you are entrusting people at work, you have to understand you're entrusting those people with your actual paycheck. So, anyone that does stupid shit at work, stop it.
Yeah.
It's not worth having to play that game, having to sweat an HR meeting, So, yeah.
Let's fast forward. Let's speed up to the friendship and to the sibling. Or you don't have any siblings, so you don't know. But like the same brother that I was talking about, my brother Dwayne. You know what I'm saying? I have a level of trust as far as my big brother. You know what I'm saying? That if I get in the jam,
right,
he is going to be there. Like my other brothers. At some point, y'all gonna hear this because we gonna blow. I don't care. I'm willing to trust in what I believe in. We gonna blow. My other brothers, when y'all hear this, y'all gonna be upset. But the one brother I do trust in when times get hard is my brother Dwayne. I mean, it's like one of those things where through times and tried experiences, when rubber meets the road, or wherever the fuck cliche you want to use, that means hard times. There's only one person I can trust in that situation,
right?
Or one sibling I can trust. And I mean, I can trust my sister to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Because her money is just as funny as mine. Her money is Eddie Murphy, and my money is Dave Chappelle. They're both funny as fuck. You know what I mean? So. My brother Dwayne is one of the ones that is very stable. He very rarely gets out of his element, and he is a person I can trust from a sibling standpoint. As far as friends, I don't have any friends of that nature outside of you. Probably.
Aw.
Aw. Fuck out of here.
Go ahead. This is why we got to touch peepees. Yeah, no, look, this is one of those situations where, I mean, I don't have any family, so I'm just going to completely just pivot and go to the friends, because that's, what am I going to talk about the family for? I hate my children, hate my wife. That's about it. So, going to the friends part here. So, and I'm not name dropping anybody, because I just don't feel like responding to text for, am I under this? No, I don't. I'm not telling you.
How could you not mention me?
Right. This is a mystery. You should, if you don't know where you stand.
Well, for the last time, just so, last time we was on a couple episodes ago, and I was like, Nick, now would you go over Nick's house if you was rich? Nick Bush. The name is Nick Bush, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the fireworks thing. Oh yeah. I got it now. I was like, what the hell were we talking about? Yeah.
No. Remember how I was saying that if I was so rich, like if I was a billionaire, or I had that Bitcoin at 67 million or whatever, would you still be humble enough to go over Nick's crib to watch the Steeler game? And I kept saying Nick, but I didn't specify which Nick I was talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
I should probably start paying attention when you talk then. Put that in the show notes. All right, fair enough.
All right.
No, look, I think that now I have a very, very, very small grouping of friends. Everyone else can or I don't keep acquaintances. I just don't. I don't have the time or the patience. Oh, I do have the time. I just don't care. I don't know. I always thought acquaintances was it's like you're not collecting baseball cards, man. You don't. This isn't. You're not measuring the number. I I would say each friend I can trust to a certain level. Like each one has a certain kind of level.
Like a meter, huh? Like,
right.
and it
like,
only goes so far, huh?
Yeah, and it's weird because you shouldn't measure your friends like that, but it's also like I know if something ever has to happen or I need to hide a body or something, I know which one I'm gonna need to kind of go ahead and contact.
He said if I need to hire a body,
hide. Well, I guess hide. No,
a body.
You know what? No, the both kind of follow. If I need to hire a body and then I need to also hide a body, yeah, those could be two different friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think anyone that isn't smart enough to admit that and actually recognize, hey, look, I know I can go to this person for this.
For one, you're not
right. You're not being truthful to yourself. So, I think that, and I'm a real trusting person. Like, and don't feel any type of way. Anybody, don't start sitting here like, oh, does he mean he? I am not that important to really think about that way. So please don't text me with your dumbass questions. But it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, I know I can go to this person if, and I don't really need things, but, if it doesn't have to be a physical thing or a financial thing or an emotional thing, I know who to go to for certain things if I need to either speak, because that could just be a simple conversation piece. If one of my friends is basically emotionally retarded and the other one is emotionally open and I'm talking about going through a breakup, I'm probably going to go to the person that's open. The other one, what are you going to contribute to this conversation? You're going to give me a head nod via a text message. Like,
y'all gonna be two folks that's head banging on each other like, yeah.
Right. Like, it just doesn't, so anyone that can't like look at their friend group and realize, yeah, no, that this is what this person brings to the table and this is what I entrust in them. And I would assume I have that same value to my friend group. I'm, certain things to certain people. That's why people mesh together. If everyone was the same, it would be terrible. But yeah, there are people that, you'll take a shot for. And then there's some people that you will,
special people for special situations, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you learning through experience through life as a chameleon through life. I mean, there's certain ways to adapt and adjust to certain situations, and you need a certain. I mean, like if I'm going camping, I'm going to probably reach out to this friend. But if I'm going to fight some fucking niggas on the street, I'm going to this person. You know what I mean? I have some different, it's just.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go get Timmy to fucking get into a gang war with. It just ain't going to happen. Like, Timmy is my boy. I love his ass. You know what I mean? But I would probably sit on somebody and fuck them up. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta go that route. Look, I was gonna say, if I'm going, I may have to go with Big Nick on that one because I don't know. He seems like he got a temper on him. Like he could just kind of get out there and start throwing.
So you think that there's like an innate type of something behavior in him that's gonna snap, and then
it's called him being Italian. Yes. Fucking lunatics.
Hey, the more the merrier, man. The more lunatics, the merrier. When you go in to fight when you going for a brawl, you want somebody to snap the fuck out. And I've been in instances like where they have snapped out. Like my one boy, my brother, his name is Emmanuel Burrell, fucking Philly. This man, I done seen this dude get hit by a fucking Hummer limo.
Jesus.
And get back up and was just like, where they at? I was like, damn, yo, you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, even my cousin's mom was like, you sure you don't need to go to the hospital? He was like, man, I don't give a fuck. But all that alcohol and that adrenaline was going through him. I mean, the next day, he was hurt. I mean, he said he spit up blood or whatever. He never went to the hospital, though. He's a soldier. That is my henchman for sure.
I mean, probably should have went to the doctor. I'm just saying, like.
I mean, like, we were in the middle. We were downtown Pittsburgh, and this one, the strip district was like popular. You know, like we were down in the strip district at Tequila Willie's, or it was called Donzi's or Tequila Willie's or something like that. And we was down there, and, you know, we got into it with some guys or whatever. We started fighting, blah, 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 blah. And the one guy was in one car, and he was pulling out. And my boy Manny start just tagging him as he's driving out, like bang, bang. And then that's when the limo from their crew came through and swiped him from the side and hit him. And we thought he was like severely hurt. He jumped right back up because the other car drove off and everybody was gone. He just jumped up and was like, man, let's go get him. I was like, is you okay, dude?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't make that up, man. That is fucking for real talk. But yeah, man, we can keep going on and on with this one. Yo, we going over. So this is another topic. Like a lot of these BDE subjects that we talk about, they could be 2, maybe 3-part episodes, you know?
Yeah.
We just choose to attack the front end of them. So if y'all want us to attack the middle end of them or the back end of them, you got to give us some comments, give us some suggestions, or even if we ain't came up with a topic that you like, give us a topic.
That's an idea. Why don't we do that? Let's do this, because I know we usually kind of give you a little bit of the we give you we give you just the tip,
like a cliffhanger. Yeah, he said just the tip.
Yeah, we ain't gonna give you that this time. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's your guys' homework. Because look, we obviously enjoy what we're doing. We have a lot of fun with it. We, as you already know, we you want to know if we're really going about this blind and we don't have any kind of pre-recorded, pre-idea things. Here's your way to go ahead and show you what we do. You choose our topic for next week. You choose it. You tell us. You send him a text. You go on the Facebook. You go on the YouTube. You go on the Twitter. All that stuff's in the description, as you already know. Plus the Patreon. That thing is dusty as hell. It's dusty as a windowsill right now.
Dusty as them little dust mites behind your desk. Listen. You know, if you work in a computer, if you work in an atmosphere or a call center, and you got 2 monitors, there is a level of dust that accumulates behind your desk that you had it's almost like a spider web of dust that accumulates behind your computers.
We're going to play a game. What's dustier, the Patreon or the inside of my PlayStation? I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I'm just joking, but the whole token thing. Look, you want to drop some coin? Go ahead. It's appreciated. Sincerely, it really is, because we are independent. We're dropping the money to do it. Send your support. Cool. But yeah, that's your guys' job now. You guys, that's our job,
and on top of that, that's almost like a trial version of what we talked about earlier, being able to provide a service individually. So
if you want to see us just blindly go about it, we are not going to know what you're going to talk about or what you want. We're going to talk about it literally right there. There you go. So we can shoot from the hip.
We are hip shooters. We are Westerns. You know, saloon doors that used to open up in the 1860s, and you walk in and they fly back. Man, and they used to have those like shoot from the hip fights. That is us.
They're called duels.
I called them shoot from the hip fights.
I know you did. That's why they came up with the word duels, because it's a lot more sexy than shoot from the hip fights. What the fuck is that? Anyway.
I said it's shoot from the hip fight. But go ahead.
I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is that? You know, duel? Just through talking about a duel? Okay.
Oh shit.
But no, I think that's gonna be a fun idea. You guys give us a subject. That's gonna be exciting. And like Jermaine said, that's gonna honestly God be a little trial run of that other little, little side service we're trying to do here. So it's gonna be fun. So we will see you guys on this episode next Wednesday, and then we'll see you on the X's and O's on Saturday.
And
so you guys know, if you didn't listen to the last X's, we did the top animals to be reincarnated as for the draft.
This time we're doing
the worst animals.
Don't fucking want to be.
And that's going to be interesting. And we may actually cover why people cuss too, which is ironic because we did that a lot this episode. That might be a topic on the next one. We'll kind of mull it over and see what we want to do with it. But we ran over here, which is fine because these bitches deserve it. So there's that. Plus the wife is out of town, so I can actually speak normally and not worry about waking her up. So that's always good too. So, what's your name?
My name is Jermaine. One more shout out I want to give to John Mike, who just passed away on Monday. My second father, going to his wake tomorrow, going to his funeral on Friday. Much love to the John Mike family and the Alicopa family there. That dude was a mentor. He's a legend.
Did you see the topic on YouTube, by the way? I don't think you did.
Oh, no.
DH put something up on there.
Oh, what did he say? What did he say?
He basically said RIP. He was a real good dude.
Okay. Yeah, DH.
I may have to give you I may have to give you the YouTube credentials so you can actually see things too. Because I realized,
I'm old. I'm fucking old.
Well, you know what? I realized, you know what? No, people text you. I get to see the YouTube things. There we go. We all get our thing. Never mind.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Finish your thought there. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
I finished. You know what I'm saying? RIP. Rest in peace. And that's my weekend. As far as before I get to X's and O's on Saturday. That's what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days. And
listen, if you need to reschedule this at all, just let me know. Like obviously people understand. I'm not trying to have you not in a good headspace, or I want you to be able to grieve and handle your business there. So just let me know. Let me know what you need to do, and obviously anything else that you need. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that flexibility. He's really not flexible. All right, so
you didn't say that when we were touching peepees. All
right,
we're fucking.
I hit the whisper shit that you love to do. But go ahead.
Look, I'm Rich. You're Jermaine, probably. And
hopefully you enjoyed this BD Street, man. This is the longest one we went, but trust is a very exciting topic, and we can just go on and on. So I don't want to, beat anybody's ear into the ground.
No, we are the PP brothers. So you guys take it easy.